So what do we got here?
It's a French double-barrel musket coaching gun.
Damn, this thing's dangerous. That's just nasty.
Cool. Coming into the pawn shop today to sell my French double-barrel musket coaching gun. My wife hates guns. She's been begging me to get rid of it. We just had a baby boy, so we came up with a deal. I get rid of it, and anything that I can get from it, I can buy a new guitar.
So how'd you get this gun?
It belonged to my uncle back in Iowa. He collected weapons and antiques, and about 7 years ago, gave it to me.
Okay. I mean, it's an incredible gun. It really is. This is really, really high-end stuff. It was probably a coach gun for someone, you know, a duke or an earl or something like that.
In the 18th century, noblemen traveled by coach across the country, and this is what's been carried, a double-barreled flintlock shotgun.
It's way more ornate than anything you'd usually see. This is something really above and beyond your normal flintlock rifle.
I get a lot of antique firearms in the pawn shop, but I have never had anything like this. It's double-barreled, it's got the spring-loaded bayonet, it's beautifully engraved. It is just absolutely incredible.
Some sort of markings along here. Cordoue.
I mean, I don't know if that's a town, I don't know if that's a gun maker, I don't know if that's the guy who owned it. But it seems to be important since it's actually written in gold. It's something that really needs to be checked out.
I've never seen a gun like this before, and to see it with gold inlay raises even more questions. So I'm gonna call my buddy Sean down here right now so we can get to the bottom of this.
Let me have someone check it out, and he can tell us how uncommon it is, and we get a general idea of what it's worth, and maybe we'll find something out.
That'd be great.
Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Oh, man. This is great. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm going to try and explain what I'm seeing. My name is Sean, and I'm an expert in antique arms and armor. Right off the bat, examining this gun, I mean, it screamed authenticity. And plus, being so unique, having a side-by-side flintlock is just so cool to begin with. But then to have the addition of a spring bayonet, that just puts it over the top. Just from the overall form, I would say that this was made around 1750. There are 3 proof marks, one of which is a crown over GP for gunmaker's proof. The other one is a crown over V for viewed, and the other one is a crown over F, which means a foreigner's mark. And what's really, really intriguing is that these are English proofs on a French gun. And then you'd go, well, why is that so? There's some history here. This gun was originally manufactured in France, but modified in England by having the barrels cut back, and a spring bayonet was attached to the top, and this added an extra, not only intimidation factor, but a lethal weapon. In that point in history, it was very, very lucrative for a guy who didn't want a real job to be a highwayman, to be a guy that would rob coaches. So in order to defend their wealthy passengers, they would want to outfit the coaches with a really good defense gun. And this definitely would have been it. So if you can imagine a group of guys trying to hold up a coach, you'd fire both barrels, and let's say another guy was coming at you, you'd hit this release, and that bayonet would shoot out, and at least you'd have another form of defense.
This thing is just nasty wicked. If someone was pointing that thing at me, they wouldn't have to shoot it. I would turn around and run in a minute.
This is really interesting in here too, and you'll notice that this is in gold overlay. It says Canon Tordeau, and that meant twisted barrel.
Okay.
Back in the day, a high quality barrel was a twisted heated steel over a mandrel. They would mark it with Canon Tordeau so that people would know that this was of a high quality steel.
Okay.
Do you know what something like this then is worth?
You know, a good guesstimate in an auction, because this is so unusual, 10,000.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
All right, thanks for coming in, Sean.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
I wanted this thing before Sean came in, and after hearing what Sean said, I wanted even more. Because as a guy who loves guns, this is the jackpot.
How much you want for the thing?
Realistically.
Can you do 6?
I mean, these are auction prices he's talking about, and
Well, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking $2,500, cash money.
5.
I want the gun. You want to buy a guitar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to buy your gun. So I can give you $4,000 in guitar.
Well, that's an option, but I don't want a bunch of $50 Fender Squire Strats. You got something good?
I have the guitar. How about like a 78 Les Paul, all original? Give me 2 minutes.
Let's see it.
I'm all about creative solutions. This guitar is beautiful. So beautiful, I don't even want it on the showroom floor, because 50 people a day are gonna wanna hold it and play with it.
I think someone bought it in 78 and put it in this case and never picked it up again.
Neck straight. It's probably the original T-top pickups.
Everything's absolutely original. There's no belt buckle scars on it.
No, there's no rash, no dings.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that guitar. Someone bought it, put it in a case, threw it in a closet for 30 years.
Damn, this is beautiful. It's guitar for the gun.
Guitar for the gun.
I think we got a deal.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Beautiful.
All right, you grab your guitar, I'll grab the gun, we'll go do some paperwork.
Right on. He made my day. It's made my year. This is awesome. I'm really happy.
Rick, I got something for you.
Davey effing Deals, what's up?
The oldest samurai sword that you had in the shop. The case and the paperwork.
It's all in Japanese?
Yeah, I couldn't read it. Good luck with that. I own a small car dealership, and I took this crazy samurai sword in on trade, and I need to turn it into cash ASAP. I went for my heart. I trusted the guy that I was talking with. He seemed like a straight shooter, and we're here to find out if I was right or wrong.
Where'd you get this thing?
I took it in trade on a vehicle, which I hope I didn't hurt myself too bad.
Well, the paperwork looks awfully official.
It's like 1500 era.
Okay.
The guy was really old that traded it in, so I kind of tend to believe him, but it's a lot of money. A lot of money.
How much you want for it?
$18,000.
$18,000.
$18,000.
Do you know how to open this thing?
You gotta push a button of some sort with
Because
the
usually they just slide out. I know the other ones I have up there do.
pin. You have to push the pin out. The guy showed me, but I didn't really pay much attention.
You didn't pay him much attention, but you gave him a lot of money for it.
Well, yeah. Not the brightest move, but.
Rocco,
Yes, sir.
how does this thing open? Typical Davey. He did a trade on this sword and had no idea anything about it. He should have had it checked out, especially when there's so much money on the line. Luckily, I have Rocco. He's like my best weapons guy at the store, and he specializes in swords.
Oh, boy.
So what is it?
It appears to be a samurai sword. To find out if it's real, I actually have to pull the handle off here. This is what matters right here. This is the name of the master here, Yoshisugu. And then it matches the signature here. Yep, he was a prominent sword maker from the late 1500s. Japan's metals were very limited, so they would pound and fold and make the strongest blades ever compared to the poured steel from medieval Europe. Yoshisugu is a master that's pretty well known. He made a really good sword.
All right, and big question is, this thinks it's worth $18,000 because someone told him that. And what's it worth?
That's an actual samurai sword. It's got all the paperwork. It's in excellent condition. It's a $15,000 to $20,000 sword.
Told you.
Thanks, Rocco. I'll deal with it from here.
Right on, guys. Thanks, Davey.
I am walking out of here with $18,000 today, come hell or high water. This is gonna be a battle of the salesmen. He does it all the time, but I am Davey Deals, so we are definitely gonna go at it. What do you think?
So I'll give you 10 grand for it.
18.
10 grand.
Can you take it to an auction or something? Is there some way I can get $15,000 out of this? Come on.
Not for me. I mean, even if you bring it to an auction, you get 15 grand, they're still gonna take like 15, 20%. I mean, I'll go like 12 grand, man. I gotta resell it.
Well, let's trade something.
What are you gonna trade for? You got all the tacky jewelry you need.
I know, I do have a tacky jewelry. I've been eye hustling your sand rail since you got it. Can we do something with the sand rail? And then I'll get a good fuzzy feeling like I didn't get burned on the sword.
I took in a 4-seater sand rail about a year ago. I paid a little over 18 grand for it, had the transmission rebuilt,
and put hours and hours of fun into this thing. Let's go take a look at it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
You better have Rock put that thing back together before somebody gets cut. I love the cooler up in the front. Can you get it into reverse? Yeah, your son keeps reminding me about when you broke down, the tranny went out on it.
I had the tranny completely rebuilt. Right. So
Will it idle?
it's sort of idles. You know what I mean? It's got a big blower on it and everything else. So
And it's built, right? So it's gonna bop, 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 bop.
yeah. So when you cruise around, it's fine. It's in great shape. I've had it blasted. I've had it for over a year now.
Yeah. Should we start it?
Jump in. All right. I have a little over $20,000 invested in this thing. But I know when I fire this thing up, Davey is going to give me anything I ask for it. Now that I have Davey hooked on this thing, I got to make sure I get my money out of it. No matter how bad I want that sword.
Well, I definitely want to make a deal, so let's make it happen.
Okay, so give me the samurai sword and 10 grand.
Samurai sword, 3 grand. 15, 3, 8, that gives you 18 for this.
That's what I paid for it.
So you've had it for a year, you break even. I mean, we'll still have it.
No, I'm not in business to break even.
What do you mean? This is our deal, not
No, I know
money
it's,
deal.
no, it's like 4 grand to get the tranny rebuilt.
So I'll go 5 G's. I'll split the half of the tranny with it. 5 grand samurai sword puts you at 20 G's.
No, after you 12 grand, so that makes me at 17 G's. I'm still losing money. So give me the samurai sword and 8 grand. That's like the best I could do.
All right, you got a deal.
All right, man.
All right, I
All right.
appreciate it. It'll stay in the family, you know that.
Okay, all right, let's do some paperwork, man.
All right. So I walked in here trying to get $18,000 cash in my pocket. I ended up giving them $8,000 cash out of my pocket. I don't know how they do this to me, but they do. I guess he is the better salesman.
What do we got here, man?
It's a 1750 blunder bust.
Okay. Blunder bus, not bust.
To be honest, I don't know much about the gun. I know it's 250 years old, and it seems like it's in pretty good condition. I'm looking to sell the gun today because I need some extra cash to buy my girlfriend an engagement ring.
So where'd you get this thing?
I inherited it from a family member who picked it up at an auction years ago.
Okay.
The thing looks dangerous.
Well, they were dangerous. This thing didn't actually shoot bullets. It just shot anything you could stick down there. Broken up glass, they'd shoot nails, gravel, anything that would really, really hurt if it was coming at you at like a few hundred miles an hour.
Okay.
This gun is a 1750 blunderbuss, and it was predominantly used just to clear out a deck of a ship, a street, something like that.
Is it possible that this isn't a real gun?
Well, it's a real gun, because it will shoot.
How can you tell?
It's simple. All you gotta do is pull the trigger. It works.
Sweet.
So you're looking to pawn it or sell it?
I'm looking to sell it because I'm getting engaged soon and I need to buy an engagement ring.
We got engagement rings.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we can work something out.
Straight up trade?
Yeah, maybe. Just depends on what you want.
Okay.
And I want to get it checked out first.
You think it's a replica?
No, there's a difference between a fake and a replica.
Okay.
Okay, a replica is you go to a store and you buy it legitimately and everything. A fake is someone who takes a replica, okay, will beat it up like this, age the metal, age the wood, do whatever they can to make it look old,
Okay.
and pass it off as a 1750 gun.
All right.
There's a proof mark, a date mark, and a maker mark.
Okay.
And they're pretty obscure marks, so you need a guy who knows what they are. My biggest concern is this is a fake. I'm 90% sure it's real, but I'm still not going to put the money out if I'm not sure. I have to have an expert check it out.
Pleasure.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. I've known Rick and the boys for quite some time, and anytime they have an issue where they need a little bit of identification, anything from the 16th century, maybe through Civil War, they call me in and I help them out. The maker, which is right here, is hand engraved,
Okay.
and that says Brander. And Brander, I'm very familiar with. He was a London gun maker.
All right.
And this would date between 1745 and say 1755. And this side plate is the same as the second model Brown Bess, which was the workhorse of the British military, especially during the American Revolution. Back in the day, you would have found blunderbusses used for coach defense, for naval boarding engagements. Here on the barrel, this mark here, the oval with the crown over V, is for viewed
Okay.
from the Tower of London. They would usually put 4 times the normal amount of powder in here to test the barrel strength.
All right.
And if it passed, of course, they would proof it. Everything looks great as far as what you want to see in a true antique.
After Sean told me this gun was real, I was thinking 2 things. I'm happy it's real, but damn, it's gonna cost me more money.
So what do you think it's worth?
In an auction environment, something like this would be expected to bring anywhere between $3,500 and $5,500.
That's great.
In a more local situation, I would say between $2,500 and $3,000.
Okay. Is this a local situation here?
Yes.
You think this thing still fires?
A lot of people have gotten hurt, even killed, not doing the proper procedures. However, under the proper circumstances, you could fire it, at a range with a range master. Any other questions?
No, I think we got it from here, man. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Anytime. Pleasure.
Thanks, Sean.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Okay, good luck.
This blunderbuss is an antique. It's 250 years old. It's really cool. You can shoot anything you want out of it. Rick would be crazy not to buy it.
So what do you want for it?
Man, I'm thinking $3,000.
Keep on thinking.
Oh, yeah?
That's what it's worth in a nice retail store. Do you have a nice retail store?
No?
We got one.
You're not helping. You said you wanted a ring, right?
Yeah, that's one.
Okay. I'll go $2,000 cash or $2,500 trade.
Yeah, I'll do the trade, man.
Okay, cool, deal.
All right. I'm really happy with the sale. I have $2,500 trade at the shop so I can get my girl a nice ring, and I got rid of the blunderbuss, so it's good.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I'm hoping you can help me with this. A bronze Madonna bust.
Go ahead, put it up here.
Okay. Oh, you're strong. Look at you, man.
Well, that's not Madonna the pop singer.
Not at all. I have an exact cast of Michelangelo's Madonna bust, licensed by the Vatican. They sell for $80,000 if they're legit, and mine is totally legit. If I get what I want for this, I'm gonna let my wife renovate the kitchen however she wants.
This is pretty cool, man. This is supposed to be the Virgin Mary, right?
Correct. It comes from the Pietà, made by Michelangelo. The original is in the Vatican.
It's pretty neat.
Michelangelo is probably recognized as one of the greatest artists of all time, even today. He's best known for the Sistine Chapel and David. He was doing just like these masterpieces, which a lot of the times artists do their masterpieces and they're not really noticed until long after they've passed. Yeah.
He was a rock star in his time.
Yeah, he was a rock star, great artist. He did sculptures like this. He did paintings. He was a poet. The guy's talents were just endless. They never
Second
seemed
to none.
Yeah. His work is literally priceless. It's worth a fortune, millions and millions of dollars sometimes. Why did you pick this up?
Well, I barter for everything. So I had the opportunity to trade some artwork for this beautiful piece.
It's really cool. It looks like it's in really good condition. Does it have any markings or anything like that on it?
It does. It's got the seal, the license from the Vatican.
154 out of 500.
That's it.
So the mold was relatively new when they casted this one. Sometimes the earlier the mold, the better the casting's gonna be. So that's good. You got that going for you there. It's a beautiful piece. I'm just not sure how sought after they are because Michelangelo himself didn't actually make this. That being said, I'm sure it has some type of value. And how much were you hoping to get?
80 grand. That's what it's valued at.
Holy cow. Yeah, I got no idea. I know the original is iconic, but this is just like a mold of that. I've got a few questions about it, so I'm definitely gonna have to have someone come take a look at it.
Yeah.
Do you have a few minutes to hang out?
Got all day. Take your time.
I'll be right back.
All right, thanks. This is a real piece, and so I'm happy for anybody to come in and inspect it. They're just gonna prove that it is what it is.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, Chum.
How you
Looking
doing?
good, man. Looking slim, man.
Hey, trying to get like Madonna.
So you have a Madonna del Piata.
What do you think about it?
It's absolutely fantastic. You don't see these a lot of times. There's not a ton of them that come on the market. Michelangelo himself considered this work and, of course, the David his two greatest works. And it's an exact reproduction of Michelangelo's Madonna del Piata. This is the only piece that Michelangelo ever signed. They say the reason he did it is there were tourists even back in his day that went to the Vatican, and they identified it as a different work, and he heard them. And he carved his name right into it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
The mold for this was the marble, so the cast is exact. So with bronze, what you want to look at is any rough spots, any weirdness in the patina, make sure the markings are right.
I see a marking right here.
Yeah,
154 out of 500.
Yeah, that's the new Renaissance right there. So that's what you want to see. Very, very, very nice patina on it. There's no damage. This is absolutely legitimate. This is the original New Renaissance that was commissioned by the Vatican. It's fantastic. So what do they want for it?
He's asking 80,000. Tell me what you think.
I think that's too high.
Ooh, Kai Koa.
This artwork on the secondary market in a gallery, it's right around $35,000.
But they're selling for 80.
If you get it from New Renaissance, it's 80,000. However, there are some on the secondary market. The secondary market's bearing right around 35,000.
So it's worth 80, just not today.
Yeah, not today. But the workmanship is fantastic, and there's no doubt this is one of the pieces that New Renaissance issued initially.
Okay, well, appreciate you coming down.
Hey, thanks, John. Take it easy.
I'm looking at like 20 grand.
Oh. 25?
23,000 is where I feel comfortable.
Okay, I got a deal for you. I'm like the barter king, so I trade for everything. I saw you had 100 pounds of silver, and that's about $24,000 if my math is correct. It'll get it out of your way, you'll get this out of my way.
Yeah, so long as the math checks out, I can do that deal.
Okay,
All right.
let's check it.
Meet me up at the counter, I'll bust the calculator out and figure out where we're at.
Thank you very much.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm thrilled. I made a sale today. Instead of the $23,000 that he offered, I was able to get $24,000 worth of silver, 100 pounds. His cost in it may be a lot less, and the value to me is a lot more.
All right.
Oh my Lily.
There she is.
I can't believe it.
Nice doing business with you.
Thank you very much. I love it.
I'm making this deal because I'm gonna show Rick how to buy something with something in the shop and then turn around and make a profit bigger than the profit I could have made if I paid cash.
Out we go.
Hey, what do you got here?
I got a 1950s Las Vegas Club $5 chip.
Yeah, I'll give you $5 for it.
You mind I look at it, Chumley?
$5.
No.
Probably give him $3 or $4.
Chumley, shut up.
I've decided to go into the pawn shop today to sell my Las Vegas Club casino chip. Supposedly there's only 8 of them in the world, and I've got one of them. I paid a lot for this chip, but I'm trying to collect chips, and I'd rather have 40 additional chips from different casinos as opposed to tie up a lot of my money in one chip.
The Las Vegas Club, which is still downtown, was one of the end places to be. In fact, it's one of the oldest casinos in town. Back in the day, $5 was a huge bet, and a person that bet $5 a hand was classified as a high roller. A lot of the old school Vegas guys hung out at the Las Vegas Club. The Gods, the Binions, the Stupeks, they were high rollers. And there's a good possibility they played with this chip. This is one of the rarest chips available. I'd say one of the top 20. The last time I was reading the chip book, there was 8 of these available.
That's what I understand.
Well, I think it's worth a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Most of these ships are in rough condition due to the fact they were used up until the 50s. This chip here is as good as it gets. You want to pawn this? You want to sell it?
I would like to sell it.
So how much you trying to get out of it?
$6,000.
I paid you $6,000 for you. It put me in my grave.
From what I understand, back a long time ago, the casino re-glued the center sticker on half of them. And this one hasn't been re-glued, so mine's in a little better shape than some of the other ones.
I was thinking about 3,000.
How about 3,000 in a trade?
What do you want to trade?
3,000 cash for this, plus those 3 statues right here. Frank, Sammy, and Dean.
We're trying to sell these statues for $600, but I only paid $100 for them. So if it's what I have to do to sweeten this deal, that's okay with me. Deal. Write him up, Chumley.
I was expecting $6,000, but I got to $3,000 cash, plus the statues, so I'm happy with the trade. I'm gonna take my $3,000 and I'm gonna go to the casinos. I'm in Vegas.
Rat Pack Collectibles is always on the market. This chip ain't. And I'm so damn happy I might crack a smile today.
Hey, what can I help you with?
How's it going? I got this harmonica. My grandfather used to play it all the time.
I think it'd be kind of fun to make Chumley stick his lips up to it and play it.
Oh, they definitely have to sell it after that. I came to the pawn shop today to see what I can get for my old harmonica. It's got some pretty neat stuff on it, and I don't know what it's worth. I'm hoping I could get a Rolex out of it, but I might be reaching a little high for it, but we'll see.
So did your grandpa play a lot, or?
Yeah, I remember him playing it by the campfire all the time. He always had it in his pocket. Works great. I don't know how to play, but...
Okay. Do you know anything about it?
Not really.
Okay, I've actually seen a few of these before. That right there, that really seriously ugly dude is owner, the guy who owned the company.
Wow.
Who made the harmonicas. They also made accordions, just about any instrument with reeds. This harmonica is beautiful, and it's in amazing condition for something that's 90 years old. Honers were some of the first harmonicas imported into the US, and old ones like this with the Zeppelin on the front of them are highly collectible. And this dude right here is Baron von Zeppelin.
That would be the blimp part of it.
No, Zeppelin. There's a difference between a blimp and a Zeppelin.
Really?
Yes, when they talk about a Zeppelin or an airship, it's a rigid frame. A blimp, it does not have a rigid frame. So if you take all the air out of a blimp, it's just basically a balloon.
So why would the Zeppelin be on the harmonica?
Because this one was made in 19-teens to the early 20s.
Yep.
Zeppelins were the coolest thing in the world at the time. They really were. And they were really considered the future of flight. They didn't think planes were going to be circling the world. It was going to be giant Zeppelins going everywhere, and that was the future of travel throughout the world.
Right.
I love the fact that this harmonica shows a Zeppelin on it. It shows how popular they were at the time. Of course, the Hindenburg blew up in 1937, and that was the end of the Zeppelins. You want to sell it?
Yeah, I want to sell it.
Okay. Basically, if it didn't have the Zeppelin on there, it'd be worth 10, 20 bucks. This one, I'd give you like $200 for it.
Can you trade for a Rolex?
No.
You can't go 300?
No, I'd go 200 bucks on it.
250?
I mean, the thing's worth like 250, 300. I'm gonna make 50, 100 bucks off you.
I'll tell you what, man. I'll do 200 bucks and a fake Timex I have in the back.
That'll work.
All right, let's go do some paperwork.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, I only ended up getting $200, but at least I talked him into a Timex. Someone will get some use out of that harmonica, I think.
Hi, son. What you got?
I am here today to sell my electronic tin toy made by Lewis Market Company.
How'd you acquire this, son?
I found it in a dumpster.
Why can't I find stuff like this in the dumpster?
I'm coming down to the pawn shop to sell my electronic tin toy. The condition is great. It's from the 40s. I want to sell it today because it's hanging around in the garage and my wife is telling me to get things out. I would like 200. Minimum I'll take is probably $80. Basically, you plug it in. These cars go around the track and they go in through the tunnel, and this is the toll, and they bounce around. This is the original box, but I tried to restore it. There's a copyright date of 1949.
This was probably made up to the early 60s due to the fact is when they made stuff back then, it wasn't a one-year process. They made them till they ran out of them. This thing was made by Marx. They were one of the biggest toy makers in America back in the day. I love old toys like this. They come from a time when kids played with something besides computers. Someone wants you to plug it in. Let's see if this thing works.
See, there's already a traffic jam.
It seems complete.
So you kind of get the idea of what happens. They move all around
pretty neat. Turn it off, Chumley.
I'm having fun.
This toy is neat. I'd love to have it in the store, but I got to pay a price for it that I can make a profit on. So what are you trying to get out of it?
200.
Ain't no way. $50, $75 retail toy. I'd be a buyer in the neighborhood of $40.
This is all almost mint condition.
You tried to restore it, but the box is destroyed.
How about 75?
Now, $40 would be tops on something like this, son.
How about $40 and $20 in store credit?
We can do that.
All right. Thank you. We settled on $40 with $20 store credit. I think it was worth a lot more than 50 or 75. I think it was worth about $150.
How can I help you?
I got some currency here.
Okay.
That I found in an old roll-top desk that my grandparents had.
So was there any other papers in it or anything like that?
There were some old newspapers. Didn't look like it was worth anything.
Was it newspapers from like July 4th, 1776 or anything like that?
No, it wasn't. I know that. It wasn't. I'm coming into the pawn shop to sell my antique currency. I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but I hope they're worth something.
So what can you tell me about them?
Well, this one right here is from the state of New York, and it looks like it has the 10 Commandments right on the back. And this one is for 6 shillings. It's from Philadelphia, and it's dated 1777. This one, though, I think is the most valuable because it has printed by B. Franklin, which I assume would be Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin was in the printing business. He was the Rupert Murdoch of his time.
Okay.
He controlled, I think, right around 60 different newspapers. I could be wrong, but it was a lot. We all know Ben Franklin was famous for many things. He was a scientist, a statesman, an inventor, a musician, but he was also a printer. In fact, he was the editor and printer of the Pennsylvania Gazette, which at the time was one of America's most prominent newspapers. The reason Ben Franklin got into politics originally was not because of politics, it was for the printing contracts. Ethics weren't exactly the same back then as they were today. People wanted to be in government so they could get the printing contracts.
Okay.
What you have here is Revolutionary War currency.
Okay. One of the things I don't understand is why this one says dollars and these two say shillings.
Most people don't realize this, but we weren't really a country yet. Basically, there was going to be 13 countries with a loose affiliation similar to the European Union. And that's why this country is called the United States. Because everywhere else in the world, a state is a country. So what do you want to do with them? Pawn them, sell them?
Looking at selling.
All right, these two right here, I know a lot about. They're not in great condition. There's nothing really special about them. And they're worth right around $100 a piece. That's what they're worth retail.
Okay.
This one, on the other hand, I don't know a lot about. This bill is almost 250 years old. It's one of the oldest notes I have ever seen. And since it's printed by Ben Franklin, I'm just not sure what they go for it. So before I make you an offer on this one, I really want someone to look at it that's an expert on Revolutionary War currency.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm really hoping the expert tells me this is really by Ben Franklin, because I've never had anything by Ben Franklin in my shop, and I would love to have it.
Hey, Rick.
How's it going?
This is the currency you called me about?
This is it.
I'm an expert in early American history and early American paper money. What I love about this period of American history is that it was the founding of our nation. We were the first country in the modern world to base our economy on the use of paper money.
Well, this one's from 1776. This one's from 1777. Continental currency, I'm familiar with them. This one, on the other hand, 1764. It's printed by Ben Franklin, and I'm just not real familiar with it. When did Benjamin Franklin start printing?
Well, he bought a newspaper in 1729, and he began printing his Poor Richard's Almanac. A lot of people aren't aware that he also printed paper money. Printed upon this note are the words, "To counterfeit is death." Counterfeiting of paper money was a big problem during the colonial period. Benjamin Franklin, being the inventor that he was, also helped to stem counterfeiting in America by his invention of nature prints. Ben Franklin invented a device where he would take a leaf from a tree and put them down right onto a central platen, and then he would press them down, having been inked, and they would leave a natural impression on the paper. It was actually a major leap forward in anti-counterfeiting technology. The reason that this anti-counterfeiting device was so successful was because there are such fine, wonderful lines in nature in a leaf that no hand of a counterfeiter could draw it precisely. The fact that this is printed by Benjamin Franklin indeed makes it far more valuable and interesting to collectors. However, this particular issue has one outstanding feature. If you look on this note, you'll see in light red ink here the signature of George Clymer. And George Clymer is a very important person in American history. He was one of only 5 people who signed both the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. This is the only issue, this 1764, that George Clymer signed. As such, he's very rare to find on Pennsylvania currency. George Clymer was actually the first person to publicly advocate for the total separation of America from England. So he is to be considered a tremendously important figure in American history.
So what are they worth?
This note would normally be worth about $300 to $400 as a regular Ben Franklin note signed by just anybody. But having the George Clymer signature on it, it's easily worth $1,500 to $2,000,
Wow.
perhaps more in a strong auction. You have a tremendous piece of American history that's of great value to collectors.
Dana, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it.
When I came in here, I thought the note with Ben Franklin's signature on it was going to be the deciding factor, but to find out that George Clymer's signature was the one that really made it valuable was real surprising to me.
So how much you want for these?
Well, you told me these were worth about $100 a piece, and this was about $1,500. So how about $1,500 for all 3?
All right, these right here, I'd give you $50 a piece, and I really don't even care about those. This is the one I want.
How about $1,000 for that one?
How about $700?
How about $900 for all 3 pieces?
I mean, I really, really want it, and I want to give you $700 for it.
Would you be willing to do some trade?
I could do that. I could do like $500 in cash and like $300 in trade.
$500 in trade.
And $300 in cash?
$500 in cash.
Yeah, I'll do it. $500 cash, $500 in trade.
Okay.
Let's write up the paperwork.
Okay.
I'm really excited we were able to make a deal because this is one of those items I'll put in my store, and I'm going to put a really high price tag on it because I don't want to sell it.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
You look familiar.
Yeah, I've been here before.
This guy recently sold us literally over 100 grand of silver. That was a big buy for us, so it would be really cool to see what he has this time. What you got?
It's an 1874 chop mark trade dollar.
You want to trade quarters for it?
No, looking to sell it. I think this is a really cool coin because when I bought it at the trade show, it was one of the only coins that had a chop mark on it. It's time to liquidate. The wife's pregnant and I gotta buy some diapers. I'm looking to get $1,000 today, but the least I'll take is $500.
So where'd you get this at, man?
Actually, I got it at a coin trade show in California a few years back up in San Francisco.
Okay. The whole reason these things came about is because China and a bunch of other countries in Asia, they didn't like our currency when we would go over there and trade with them. But believe it or not, they actually liked the Mexican peso more because it had more silver in it.
Okay.
So what we did was we started making these. We put a little bit more silver in them, so they would actually prefer these over the Mexican peso. They would take them and they would take a little tool and they'd put a chop mark in it. And that's how they kind of tested their silver in them. They were never meant to get into the hands of normal consumers in the United States. But what ended up happening is silver prices started to really fall. So China threw all their old trade dollars on some ships, brought them into the United States, and traded them for gold.
Okay.
The whole idea of trade dollars started in the 1860s, when the price of silver went down because of all the mining in the western U.S. So what do you want to do with it, man?
It's time to sell it.
All right, I'd be willing to give you around $400 for it.
400? I'm looking online, this thing's worth $1,000.
Were you able to sell it to your computer?
Unfortunately, not the computer or the baby store. I mean, can you come off that a little bit? Like, at least 800.
I'll go like 450, man.
750.
The problem is it's chop marked. There's a big debate on whether or not a chopped mark is just part of the coin's history or if it's just damage that was done to the coin by the Chinese government. That being said, the most I'm gonna go is $500, dude.
Well, the baby's coming on the way in a few months, so $500?
500. Come with me, we'll write you up.
I settled on 500 because it's money right now. I could probably go and try to sell it online, but that's more effort and more time.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
What we got here?
I've got a couple of notes to offer you. First off is a Bison star note, and I also have 2 consecutive chief notes.
Oh, sweet. The old school large paper money of the United States. This is when we actually made pretty money. And now they just put dead presidents and old guys on it.
I'm here today to sell some really cool and rare old US paper currency. I'm selling the notes to free up some cash and maybe put the money into another investment. I'm a pretty passionate collector. I've been collecting ever since I was a little kid.
These are in incredible shape, too. So where'd you get these things?
I picked them up at a trade show out east.
So these are right around 1901-ish?
This one is from 1901, and this is from 1899.
Okay. Right around when these were printed, there were so many people in rural America, they were never going to be able to get to a museum somewhere and see fine art. So the idea was, let's start putting artful things on the money so people in rural areas could appreciate great American art. Like, you look at this bill right here. You got Lady Columbia. You know, this is a great American Indian chief. You have Lewis and Clark. We have, you know, American bison on it. I mean, it was big, it was bold, it was just pretty.
So much more color, too, you know.
Everything about it's just cool.
Yeah.
It was really a drawn-out process. They used to have real artists who made the money, and it was really hard to counterfeit. One engraver engraved the portrait. A separate engraver would engrave the background of the front, and a third engraver would do the back of the bill. So if someone was going to counterfeit the bill, he'd have to be the world's greatest engraver because he'd have to do 3 different styles.
Really?
Yeah. The bison I rarely get, and this was a star note, which means the printing press screws up somehow or the other, and they got to, you know, stop the whole thing, fix what's wrong, and start over again. First bill always has a star.
To my understanding, you know, star notes are considerably rarer than regular issue.
In general, if they have a star, they're always worth more money. These I've had over the years, but I have never had, like, 2 perfect ones, though. How much are you looking to get out of them?
I'm asking $15,000 for the pair of chiefs and $15,000 for the bison, so basically $30,000 for all 3 notes.
Okay. I've seen these notes before. I just never seen them in this kind of shape, so I sort of need a little help with the price.
Okay.
You know, it's not that I don't trust you, I just don't trust you. I'll be right back. I'm going to give someone a call.
I'm interested in hearing a second professional opinion. I'm very confident that he will agree with me.
Well, what do we have here today?
Paper money.
Well, these are pretty cool, Rick. These are part of the Wild Wild West theme. They're considered to be America's greatest currency designs of all time. The chief, actually, was part of the Sioux tribe. However, whomever did the engraving used a Pawnee headdress.
Okay.
Little fun fact there for you. The interesting part about the chief notes, it's unusual to see a consecutive pair. The government will make these in sheets of 4, cut them up, and then put them in packs of hundreds. So it's very unusual to find 2 consecutive.
They're in incredible condition. I mean, those are both graded 65, which is damn near as high as you can get, so.
So I guess you kind of want to know the value?
Yeah, he wants $30,000 total.
Okay. The collectability of the Bison Star is going to be a little on a narrow field.
Okay.
I would put this as a retail value of probably 10 to 11 grand.
Okay.
The chief notes are very collectible, very easy to sell. I would say 99% of collectors want one. So I'd say on a retail level, you're looking right around 14 to 15,000. So you're essentially looking at $25,000 to $26,000.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
See you soon. Take care. Good luck.
All right. Okay, so you started at 15 on that one, 15 on that one. This right here, I'll go 8,000 on. It might sit for a while. These, on the other hand, I'll be honest with you, they'll sell quick. So take 11,000 for these.
I think we're much closer on the 2 chief notes than we would be on that one.
Well, how much closer are we?
I can do the pair for 12,000. My best is 10.5 for the bison.
Okay, would you do 8,500 on the star note?
No, I can't.
All right. I'm not gonna buy that one, but I'm gonna buy these for 12,000 bucks. Deal?
Deal.
Sweet.
Thank
All
you.
right. Grab that. Meet me over there.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Pretty money, and I'll make a quick buck. Hey, how's it going?
What's up? Got some old school Viking artifacts for you.
All right. Whoa. I mean, this is definitely some money right here.
I really want to make a couple $1,000s a day. It's a couple of the items, I didn't know exactly what they were. The prized possession, I believe, is this gold Viking bracelet. And the things I had to trade for it, it better be one of a kind.
All right, so where did you get this stuff?
I have a buddy that lives in England, and he has an antique store, and we buy and we trade from each other. And I had something he wanted, so he happened to trade me for this stuff.
All right. These are more like fragments of something.
Yeah, it was a brooch.
Obviously some kind of jewelry. I mean, all this stuff is. I mean, the problem is I don't know what it is.
Okay.
These two are really intriguing. This is really neat. I think it's what's left of a copper bracelet.
Okay. It's my favorite piece out of all of them.
You almost never see legitimate Viking items here in the US. Even small and broken pieces, like some of the things in this collection, could be worth a lot of money if they're authentic, because real Viking items are hard to come by. I'm not even sure what everything is, but you never want to dismiss anything too quickly. There might be a diamond in the rough. Did you know much about the Vikings? I mean, just in general?
I knew they were bullies. I like how they would come in and just gangster everything around.
And yeah, that's basically what they did. These were the most iron men you ever seen in your life. And just the way their culture developed was that they just believed that it was a lot easier just to go take stuff from people than to actually trade with them.
Bully them, huh?
You know, if you went to most parts of Europe, there was planting season. Well, in Scandinavia, they planted crops and everything, but there was also raiding season. I have always been fascinated with Viking history. Their exploits are legendary, and I would just love to get something that's authentic. But I have to make sure they're truly Viking and not just rusty bits of stuff he dug out of the ground. I'm assuming you want to sell the stuff.
Yes, I would love to sell them.
All right. And did you have an idea what you wanted for this stuff?
I was thinking around $1,000.
Okay. Now, this stuff right here, okay, I can't tell you when it was made.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if this is Celtic from like Ireland, Scotland.
It's haunted.
Okay, I can't tell you anything about it, okay? I can't tell you when this was made, but I can tell you this is gold. So there's a lot more than $1,000 worth of gold here. So I do have a friend, he is in town. I met him in New York, and he actually works on the Viking collection there at the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Okay.
Can I have him look at this stuff?
That's not a problem.
Okay?
Be my guest.
Hang out, maybe buy something.
I know he's calling in the expert, but that makes it better for me. So him calling the expert just puts money in my pocket.
This is my Viking friend.
There you go.
Nice to meet you. Laird is the most knowledgeable guy I have ever met when it comes to Viking history and artifacts. He's been collecting this stuff for almost 20 years, and some of his items are in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So I'm hoping he can tell me more about these pieces and what they're worth.
What was the thing with the little hats they would wear with the horns on them? The weird hats. I call them the weird hats, but...
Well, the weird hats actually come from Wagner's operas. They were an improvisation of what they thought Viking helmets might look like. You know, they were really thought of as a very barbaric people. Vikings actually never wore horned helmets. We know very little about what Viking helmets actually were. There's been 1 or 2 finds of Viking helmets. Remember, these are iron items, and they didn't last long in the ground. I guess before I proceed, did this all come as part of one collection?
Yeah, it was all together, all one.
If we look at what I'd say is this group of items right here, this is diagnostically Baltic Viking.
Baltic Viking, is that not Viking?
Well, I think the academics would say technically it's not Viking. These are tribes that were not necessarily as migratory as the Vikings or as warlike. They were contiguous with the Viking areas, and they traded quite a bit with them, and they copied their style of garb, their style of decorations. If you or I were put back in time and we walked in on these people, they would have looked like Vikings to us.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you see a lot of these types of items on auction sites right now. Because of that, the value's very low to negligible on these items. This particular piece caught my eye. This is part of a bracelet. It's a copper alloy. And so Viking currency, what they would do to trade is they would just cut bits of bronze and silver and they'd weigh it out. The merchants all carried scales, and that's how they would transact. You know, this item is probably worth $50.
Okay.
The complete bracelet is obviously larger and more interesting. The dragon head terminals are really an attempt to copy Viking jewelry that was being made in Sweden at the time, around the 10th century. And this item would probably be worth about $175 to $200.
All right, and this stuff?
This stuff, this is based on its size and certainly not a Viking spear. It's an arrowhead of some sort. It could date from any time. And I'd have to defer on that. It's not worth a lot, but it's certainly outside of my range of expertise.
And the bracelet?
The bracelet it appears to be Viking gold.
So you're saying this is legit Viking gold, the magical gold?
Well, I can't endorse any magic to it, but I would say it would appear from its form and how it's manufactured, these pileated wires, to be very traditional Viking. Obviously, it would appear to be the star of this group of items. Auction estimates on it would be something between 6,000 to 8,000 British pounds, which would be, and I'll leave it to you to translate.
Please translate, my fine friend.
6,000 pounds would be right around 9,400 bucks.
Man, I knew it was worth something. He quoted the bracelet at over $9,000, and I think that's great because I only thought I was gonna get $1,000 out of it. So looks like I hit the jackpot.
Well, thanks for coming in, man.
I really appreciate it. If you want to see some real exciting stuff, I've got a couple swords that I'd be happy to bring by the shop and show you.
Oh, bring them by. I'll take a look.
Terrific.
Hey, appreciate you, buddy.
No problem.
All right.
My pleasure.
All right.
I'm gonna show you what I want. Okay, these right here, I want to give you 150 bucks for it.
I was thinking more along the lines of about 400. You heard what the guy told you.
I know what he told me, but I don't have a lot of customers going, hey, dude, you got some Viking jewelry? I'll go $200 on it.
If you can do that, you can do it 300.
I'll tell you what, I'll do 250.
You sure that's the best you can do?
Keep them then.
250.
All right, we got a deal, 250. Now this right here, I was thinking right around $6,000.
I was thinking around $8,000.
Okay, plain and simple, I'll give you 7,000. I will not give you any more. That is what I will give you. It is a more than fair price.
75?
No, $7,000. Okay, I mean,
you're a hard guy.
I'm not a hard guy to deal with it. You're the one who walked in here and wanted 1,000 for all of it, and you're walking out of here with $7,250.
Okay, well, for the magical gold, we'll have to settle at that, buddy.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna box this stuff up, and I will meet you right over there at the pawn counter.
Okay. 7,200. I'm gone. Hit the jackpot straight to the bank. Let's get on.
All right, what do we got here?
I've got a United States officer cadet uniform from West Point.
I can't believe they'd actually wear this thing in the summertime. It's all wool and leather.
Well, they make them sweat it out. I've collected for a long time, and now I'm selling this item because I need the money, and the lowest I'll take for it is $3,000.
So how did you come about this?
I purchased this from a military auction about 15 to 18 years ago.
Cool. One of my favorite antiques is American militaria. I really like it. I mean, my dad was in the military, and the stuff just really interests me.
It says U.S. Officer Model 1895, blue wool, undress tunic. It's correct for Model 1902. And it's very, very rare to get them with the original hardware.
When Phil showed me the jacket, I was blown away. I couldn't believe that this jacket was 100 years old and in this great a shape.
It's not just a common uniform by any West Point officer. This uniform belonged to Griswold's.
When he said Griswold, that immediately got my attention. Griswold was the only guy from Nevada that was a general during World War II, and that's huge.
He was the commanding general of the Third Army. He was one of the generals that went into the Philippines, I think Guadalcanal, and you can check it out. And it says Griswold's, and it says 12/17/09. One of his family members contacted me by email to verify that that is his signature.
Yeah, it's neat. I could tell it's real because the iron ink is already beginning to oxidize. That's why it turns that brownish color.
Yes.
That's how you can tell it's old.
Takes years to turn that color. All his other uniforms were donated either to the Smithsonian or to West Point.
I've dealt with a lot of military items in the past, but I've never had anything associated with a general. And anything associated with a general means it's associated with more money. So how much did you want for it?
I'd probably go 35 on it, unless it's worth more.
3,500?
Yeah.
I'll have to do a little digging to find out what it's worth.
Okay.
This West Point jacket is in great condition, but before I can put an offer on it, I need to have it authenticated. I have a friend that works at the Clark County Museum, and he is an expert on American militaria. I'll see you tomorrow, man.
All right, thank you. I welcome the expert's opinion because that's going to help me sell the uniform, and I'm sure he'll agree that it's worth at least $3,500.
Sit down, please.
This is the infamous jacket I told you about.
Ah, yes. I'm looking forward to this. I'm the administrator for the Clark County Museum System, which means I run the 3 museums that are operated by Clark County, Nevada. Now, do you mind if I open these up and take a look? No.
Go ahead.
What's interesting is not just that it's a West Point jacket, but it was a man who made quite a career in the military. He became a lieutenant general, which is quite high in the military, and he was a Nevada native. This is a very unusual thing. As I'm looking at areas like the buttonholes here, the way that those are lined, you know, the way the stitching is done, all of that seems correct to me. This has been added on, and that's probably a later piece. You can see that it's a different kind of fabric. It's not the same fabric as here. It's been added on. Probably the original one got torn. It's not wrong in that it shouldn't be on there. But it's a later addition to the jacket. And this is very typical. When you look at the sleeves, this striped lining, very typical. It's a very typical material at the turn of the century. The wear seems correct. And this would have gotten a lot of wear because in West Point, she would have worn this a lot. I mean, I know what you can do if you want to fake something. I see nothing on here that tells me that that's been done. So if this was offered to me, I would take it for the museum. Looks right to the time period. The insignia is right. The construction is right. The materials are right. I think you've got a very, very nice piece here.
Thank you.
And just a wonderful coat. I've dealt with a lot of uniforms over the years in many museum collections, and it was very nice seeing one that is from that time period in that kind of condition, because it's very good condition, and was right.
So in your personal opinion, what do you think it's worth?
I can speak to whether it's real or not. I can tell you what I know about it, but I can't tell you anything on the value. You can check that on your own.
I've been trying to get prices out of him for years. He won't give them, period. He just tells you if it's real. Okay. And that's why I come and see him.
But
thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
I really, really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate you bringing it by. Thank you, Phil, for coming in.
Thank you for taking a look at my uniform.
The moment Mark said it was real, I knew I had to have it. But the question was, how much can I pay for it and still make a profit?
All right, so we know it's real now, so give me my money.
Okay, yeah, well, let's negotiate.
Okay.
So, hey, man, the big question. What do you want for it?
$8,500. Yeah, well, that's what I want for it, but as far as what's reasonable, I'd probably go around in the $3,500 price range on it.
It's really, really cool, but it's so hard to price things when there's only one of them.
This jacket is probably one of the most significant historical items you can have in your store. It has a name behind it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a really, really high-end piece. I mean, there's nothing you have here that I've seen that comes close to what this would do for your store to have this kind of quality in your showcase.
I gotta make money, and I just don't know if I can on it. That's the problem. You mean, literally, I think I'd buy it for $1,500.
How about 15 cash and 12 in trade?
That I go 1,500 cash. I mean, I don't mean to beat you up, but it's just everything scares me to death. I'm getting 50% of what I was getting for diamonds. I'm getting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the prices have dropped that much on everything.
Well, give me some trade. Give me something. I want to buy something from your store. Give me 15 cash and 5 trade.
Okay, deal.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We did get a deal.
We did get a deal. All right, it's cool, because I didn't think we were going to be able to make a deal.
Yep, well. I'm happy with the deal. He bought the jacket, and I got some cash, and I get to go on a shopping spree.
14. I am really pumped. I bought a jacket that I really love. I know I can make money on it, and I'm really excited.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
What we got here?
Look, this is my tattoo set.
Chum,
What's up?
this guy's gonna tattoo your face.
Guy's gonna tattoo my face. You don't want to mess up this circle of beauty.
I'm coming into a pawn shop today to try and sell my tattoo set. I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but then some things changed, and I didn't have enough time for it. And so I'm just trying to get rid of it, make some money.
So what kind of machines do you got?
I actually got everything that you need to start. You got your liners to do your outlines of tattoos, and then you got the shader to shade and fill in. And I got like over 20 different colors of ink, the foot pedal, power source, stainless steel stems.
So what is this?
This is a pressure sanitizer.
You can cook a good pot roast in this thing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Everybody knows I'm into tattoos around here. I mean, I got $6,000 worth of ink on my arms alone. It's a huge business here in Vegas, so I'm definitely interested in this equipment. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Are you looking to pawn it or sell it, or?
I'd like to sell it.
What are you looking to get out of it?
About 400.
More comfortable doing 3.
Can we meet in the middle and do 350?
No.
Really?
3's what I could do.
All right,
You say you're a tattoo artist, man. What do you say, Big Hoss? If he draws a portrait of us, give him an extra 50?
If it's good, I will.
Think he can draw a portrait of us?
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's see what you got. 50 bucks if you can make a good portrait.
All right, yeah, that'll be good. Can you guys stand a little closer together for me?
You know this is bad. I'm not giving you any more than the 300.
Let's see what you got.
Why does Chumley have wings on?
Well, he's a pretty little angel.
That's definitely worth the extra 50 bucks, man. Let's go write you up.
Sounds good.
All right.
I just sold the tattoo set for $350. It's only $50 less than I was asking for, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm going home happy.
Earlier today, I bought a tattoo set off a guy. I'm thinking I could sneak out at lunch today and trade for a tattoo. So now I'm on my way to my friend Bundy's shop to go get a tat. I've been coming here for years, and he is the best.
What's up, Bundy?
What's up, big dog?
It's cracking. What you got for me?
Soup.
All right.
But I figured try to get you to trade me some tattoo work for it.
Oh, boy. Let's see what you got here, buddy. What are you looking to get?
I was thinking like a pocket watch right there, man. Kind of like a time flies kind of theme.
Pocket watch?
Yeah.
Like an old school one?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Let's draw it up.
I'm happy with the trade. I mean, this tat would have normally cost at least 350 bucks. It's definitely a win-win for me.
Corey's just strolling in after being gone for more than 3 hours without telling me or the old man where he's been. Needless to say, we got a few questions for him. So, Corey, where you been?
Rick, you know where the he's been.
Getting a tattoo, obviously.
What'd you rat me
I
out?
didn't say anything.
So how much did that cost?
Some tattoo guns.
How much did you pay for the tattoo guns?
$350.
Well, you owe us $500.
What are you talking about? The tattoo cost $350.
You know the company policy, we have to make a profit. So you're gonna pay $500 for the damn gun, plus you're gonna work 3 hours overtime for leaving during the friggin' day.
All right, keep open for it.
One of these days, Corey will be running this shop. And to be honest with you, I'll be glad that I'm dead. You shouldn't be even getting tattoos anyhow.
Whoa, if anybody's gonna talk to me about tattoos, it's not gonna be you.
Corey, I got one tattoo.
You got a tattoo?
I got one over 40 years ago.
Why don't you tell us all about the tattoo?
You give me all kinds of crap for mine. I can't believe you have one.
You two are like two circus freaks.
At least it looks good.
Let's hear about your tattoo.
This is not about me. This is about you.
Here's what happened. It's 1959. He's in Japan. He promised my mom he wouldn't get any tattoos, so he thought it would be all right if he got a tattoo with my mom's name in it. But he spelled it wrong.
That's bad.
Quit giving me a hard time. I was a little under the weather that day.
That means drunk, right?
Yeah. I was a little inebriated. Let's drop the subject. Let's go to work and try to run a business in a normal sense.
I'll admit, maybe trading in the pawn shop's tattoo guns for a tattoo on my own arm wasn't a great idea, but at least I didn't misspell my wife's name.
What do we got here?
Got an old diving helmet I brought in for y'all to take a look at. Just wanting to kind of see, I mean, what it might bring. Oh, I'm stuck! I'm coming in the pawn shop today to try to sell my old diving helmet. I don't know if it's worth a few $100s or it might be worth a few $1,000s. I mean, that's kind of what I'm going to find out. I like to collect old firearms, so I'm hoping I get enough money to at least give me some money to go towards an old Winchester or something like that.
Can you tell me where you got this thing?
It came from my wife's side of the family. She had an uncle that was in the Navy, and he collected memorabilia.
Do you know anything about it?
Really don't. I mean, it's got to be pretty old. I mean, it's been well used.
Damn, it's heavy. Well, I guarantee your first dive in this thing would have been scary.
I wouldn't even get in it.
If it's real, it's really old, like 1880 to 1900. This thing is so cool. It's one of those items that walks in the door, and I want it even before the guy says hello. It definitely looks old, but then again, there are some concerns here. This looks electrically welded right here. And if this is this old, they didn't have that.
It could be old and somebody could have done some repair works to it.
Okay, but one of the problems with these things is these were so cool sitting on the back of a bar somewhere that they started faking them. Okay? Whenever you have a cool, historical, and visually interesting item, people are going to make fakes. If there's a demand and no supply, people are going to create the supply. So do you want to pawn it or do you want to sell it?
Well, I was just going to see what I might be able to get for it. I like to collect old rifles and just kind of wanted to see what I might get for this to go towards buying a rifle.
I just really need to find out if it's real or not. Because if this thing's real, it's worth a lot of money. The exact figure, I don't know. Okay? But I know a guy who knows all about these things. Let me call him in. Let me get him to take a look at it.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
All right. I'm the owner of West Sea Company. I've been dealing in nautical antiques for 35 years. I love the things. Every time I see a nautical antique, my heart starts to flutter. What are your concerns about this, Rick?
First off, is it real? We got parts of these things that are lead soldered together, but this almost looks welded. I mean, everything besides this looks in pretty damn good shape, but I don't even know if that's a big difference on these things. I mean, it's just one of those things I've never seen.
Well, it's no wonder you've never seen one, because this feature up here indicates that it was handmade. It was made back before metal spinning techniques. This is riveted on there. So this is a copper top, both soldered and riveted together so it was airtight. Basically, this is what's called a shallow water helmet. And you weren't swimming around in these things like we do today in scuba gear. These guys were actually standing on the bottom with weighted boots and a lead weight belt around their middle. This was probably the ultimate dangerous job back in its day. There was no telling whether that guy was ever going to come up from the bottom once he went down.
I can just imagine the guy whose job it was to test these things out for the first time. I imagine it's what Chumley would have done if he was alive 150 years ago. So, do you think it's real? And if it is, what year is it?
I've looked at it pretty closely, Rick, and I'd say it's definitely real. What you have here is one of the earliest known American diving helmets that I've ever seen. This thing's got a date to back 1865, 1870.
What were they diving for in 1860?
They were doing pier work, scraping the hulls of warships, looking for cannon on the bottom of a bay.
So what do you think it's worth?
You know, on a good day at auction, I think you're looking at an easy 15,000 bucks. Maybe more.
Okay. Okay, well, thanks, Rod. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Rick.
This is incredible. I can't believe this helmet is so old and worth so much. I really want this in my shop. I just have to get it for the right price. So how much do you want for this thing?
The guy said it's worth 15,000.
I didn't ask you what the guy said. I asked you what you want. I'll give you $7 grand for it. $100 bills.
10. 10 and we'll both be.
$8 grand.
I can't do 8.
I told you what, you said you wanted a gun?
Yeah.
Here. It's even older than the helmet. It's an 1830 competition rifle.
That's a cool gun. Does it still fire?
Yeah, that will still fire.
The rifle and $8 grand in cash, right?
Yep.
Well, I can do that deal. All right.
I love creative solutions. This gun's been sitting around the shop for over 2 months, and it was just the perfect item to sweeten the pot to make this deal happen.
I walked in not knowing what it was worth and ended up with $8,000 and a nice old rifle, so I'm real happy with the deal.